Alright, so last night, oh, you hear that beeping? Or that's to wake up, pay attention. Or copy, or check in, or do you copy? Anyway, I drove over to this parking lot last night. Just across the street from where I was at. That budget truck. Back to where I was parked. Shuts this. It's Bank of America's Financial Center. And it's extremely well lit, so it's a very strong deterrent for whatever they were planning to do last night, that they were stacking up cars over there in that parking lot for. So the first night since I've been here on Friday, or Saturday afternoon, she said, yeah, early Saturday. That parking lot was stacking up around me. A bunch of cars, and the gas station was real busy. Busier than I'd ever seen it. Which didn't really make sense to me. So, oh, and what alerted me to whatever they were planning to do just then, last night, was when a car rolled up at the end of that row that I was parked in. It honked once, and immediately a car across the street there in that direction, on the far side, it immediately acknowledged. It was like beep beep. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a in position. And that's what I've been waiting for. So, hello. So I simply drove across the street. And I believe this financial center is closed, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if everyone is familiar with this vehicle, but it is a standard government issue Ford Explorer that is driven by government staff. Basically, it's like the contract that Ford got for that. And when they get cycled out of use by official organizations, government organizations, they end up being auctioned. So this would be almost like a first pick, one of the first picks in the auction lot when they go up for sale in massive quantities, which would be picked up by a corporation that guy just left. Anyway, which would be picked up by a corporation, you know, at a much lower cost than buying it brand new. So standard stuff. So I woke up, I slept for the first time, like comfortably, because I knew that they weren't gonna come at me with any kind of violence or attempt to kidnap or anything like that. Right next, like at the parking lot of the Bank of America Financial Center. Just not gonna happen. They just wouldn't be able to justify that at all. And last night, or the night before that, I didn't let you guys know that when things were stacking up then, I actually came here to the front of this building and sat in front of the building in the ATM, and in front of the ATM. So I would be in direct line of sight of the ATM cameras. And that worked. That kept them from doing what they were building up to do. And wrote this note. It took me like an hour and a half in the freezing cold. I don't say freezing, but it was in the 40s, so it was really cold to be sitting out for any length of time, factoring in the wind chill. So I sat and wrote this note. And when I was done, let me show you this. See this car right here with the tinted windshield? Look how dark that windshield is. Yeah, definitely one of them. This van conveniently parked here. This is like this when I just woke up like 10, 15 minutes ago. Oh, wow. And there's this one. And there are all those cars over there for Walgreens. I don't know if my phone's mic is able to pick up that light honking of the horn. I'm not saying that every horn honking is them. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. But there's a different way that people, when they're just using the horn, you know, because most people use it on occasion, like rarely. There's a certain way, like if we're using it as normal people, we're using it because we're trying to get someone's attention. So we're not gonna use it in the way that someone would be using it by habitual, like, communication, like varied forms of communication. Like just now, it was like the lightest tap. The lightest, just ever so slightest, minimum required to actually make the noise, but not more than that. And when it's pushed that way, it's obvious someone's trying to just barely get someone else's attention, but not enough to draw everyone's attention around. Now, a car car alarm is obviously just a standard. It's the same sound every time. When you hit the lock button, it goes beep or beep beep. Standard. It's the same sound, same interval between the beeps. Nothing unusual about that. I hear that all the time, and I can notice the difference between that and the way these folks use it. I spy a hyena. See, there's another one. That's the way it sounds, and I know my phone picked that one up. So anyway, I was building up, you know, the past days that I've been here, I've been saying over and over and over and over and over and over, I'm afraid to leave the parking lot. I won't even leave the parking lot because the moment I leave the parking lot, police are gonna pull me over. So I'm not going anywhere until I figure this out. And day after day after day, regardless of how intense the pressure became from them, I didn't leave. And particularly when after that whole event, 3 a.m. the other night, where it was obvious that something real bad was developing. I didn't even leave after that, because I kept saying there's no point because I'm going to be locked up and I'm just not going to volunteer for that. So I kept reinforcing that as a hard boundary, so that when I did decide to leave, it would be entirely unexpected. I still wasn't gonna go far. I still wasn't gonna like drive down the road, because that would result in me being arrested, pulled over and whatever. So when things came together last night, and I was waiting for when they were actually going to move on me there, where I was at. And all those cars kept stacking up. And it looked so normal. It looked so normal, but the area that was being stacked up was only in a certain radius around me. Literally, like in that parking lot, if you had looked at a map above and pinpointed my spot and then measured the distance from me to the edge of this little fictional area of bustling activity, probably would have been about 15 meters max, and everything beyond that was empty. So they were stacked around this gas station, in this gas station right around there, and that's it. It was a trip. It just didn't make sense. It just looked like a stage for some street theater. So that's what let me know that they were setting the stage for whatever drama they were planning to have unfold. So I was just waiting for them to communicate to one another or show a sign, some way of like, okay, let's go, and action, kind of thing. So when I heard that beeping from here to there, it was like beep beep. It was like beep beep, real quick, from there to there. So this one was saying, hey, are you in position? You ready? And I was like, ready. Okay, time to go. So immediately, go get in my car, back out, and all of them are watching me. Everyone froze. All of them froze. It was a trip and kind of funny. Everyone in the gas station, whatever they were doing, stopped. They stopped and were staring at my car as it was driving out of that parking lot. It was such a trip because they were entirely unconscious that they were doing it. Completely. So all I did was just pull straight across the street. Straight across the street, taking my time, and pull into this parking lot. Because that was my backup plan. That was my secondary parking position that I had just been keeping in my back pocket, so to speak, for when it was time. Because I wanted to stretch that out. I wanted to get them to exhaust their planning, resources, efforts, all that, and I wanted them to make their plans based on that parking lot being a hard boundary. Hello? Oh, buddy, you kind of drove right into this setup. Ford Explorer. Plates. Go, gotcha. So, anyway, I was saying, I wanted that to be a hard boundary. So that they would make plans, whatever they were planning for me, with a strong presumption. Like I wanted them to take that for granted, that they can make plans that would leave that as what do you call it? That would factor that in as something that wouldn't happen, right? Because I had reinforced so strongly that I'm so afraid, too afraid to drive, just even drive off the parking lot. No way, no way, no way. That's why when I finally did drive off, everyone stopped and was staring. And I wouldn't have known who was out of those people at that gas station or that little area over there. I wouldn't have known who was actually involved. There's no way. Until I looked around and I saw who was just staring without pause at me leaving. I mean, unnaturally. It's one thing when you notice a car leaving, you look over, and maybe if you like the car, or if you're curious about the car, keep staring at it. And then you look away, you go on to watch your business. These people kept staring. Because I drove real slow. So I was waiting for an opening in traffic, like at the light up here. I was waiting for the flow of traffic to stop or create a gap. Let it be a gap in between both directions so I could just drive straight across the street over here. And the whole time these people were staring at me. It was eerie is the word. Like Children of the Corn eerie. Because of how revealing it was. Of exactly how many people were involved in this particular performance. And they were all ordinary looking people. I mean, the appearance of them, they could be the definition or represent the definition of ordinary. It's your everyday people. That's who are filling the ranks of the cannon fodder. You know, the ground pounders. People on the ground. Who are doing the physical labor of gangstalking. Even as I was leaving the parking lot, I went extra slow, like approaching the exit. I went extra slow. Just wanted to draw it out. I wanted them to start, or I wanted them to deploy resources to whatever they were doing, activate them, whatever they had positioned at the various points. You know, south, north, east, west. I wanted them to activate them. I wanted them to activate them. I wanted them, those, whatever it was, whoever it was, to get all up in arms. Anticipate me coming down there at any moment. We're heading in that direction. Be ready for intercept. Be ready for whatever. Anyway, I wanted them to be stood up, activated, and then completely have their time and energy and alertness wasted. When everyone saw that all I had done was drive straight across the street, right here, and park right here. It's the only car in this parking lot. I recorded a different video that I'm going to post. See, that was an ordinary honk of a car alarm being activated. Sharp. Sharp. Brief. And the same. It's the very same kind of clipped. Yeah, clipped noise. This is great. The position is outstanding because it provides line of sight. If this is a corner, it provides line of sight. It's pretty clear in all directions, and the only building that's behind me blocking any kind of my ability to see what's going on the other side of the building is Bank of America's financial center. I don't really have to worry about who's coming from that direction, because compromising the security of a bank is definitely within their abilities, for sure. They could do it. They can definitely do it. But the shitstorm that would come about as a result of them doing so, especially right before I was killed, it's kind of obvious. It would be kind of obvious. Like the sudden disappearance of any evidence that builds up or leads up to what transpired before I was killed. That wouldn't. They couldn't explain that shit away. Oh, here we go. They wouldn't be able to explain that away. So that's why I was able to sleep through the night last night for the first time in 5 days. So now it's just a matter of figuring out what and how I'm going to eat, because I have no money whatsoever. I am broke. Alright. I think that'll do for now. Signing off. Strength on.